Everyone, today I want to talk about the video game I've been playing recently, Mortal Kombat X, or 10. Now, for years I've been a giant, and I mean a massive fan of Mortal Kombat. It is by far my favourite fighting series of all time. Some people love the Tekken series, other people love the Soul Calibur series, and then of course there's the old Street Fighter series. But me, I've always been leaning towards Mortal Kombat. Now, I love the other series. In particular, I liked Street Fighter. I got into it for Street Fighter 4, then I played 2. I've liked Tekken. I've been back and forth. I used to love Soul Calibur. Soul Calibur 2 and Soul Calibur 3, oh, loved them. But Mortal Kombat I have loved for ages. I've loved the lore, the characters, and the thing is, this could just be my subjective opinion, but some of the fighting games these days are kind of getting slightly worse as they keep going. Like Street Fighter isn't as good as they used to be in the past. Tekken I feel is getting not as good as they used to be in the past. And Soul Calibur, well, let's not even go there. But Mortal Kombat is the one game I feel like is getting better and better the more games get released. Now, Mortal Kombat 10 is not a perfect game by any means, but it is a damn good fighting game. Now, let me get through it. When MK9 came out a couple of years ago, I loved it. I spent so much time playing that game. But the biggest scenario, everyone agrees on this, addition was the story mode. They had a fully fleshed out story mode in a fighting game. And everyone says, you don't need a story in a fighting game. I think you do. It adds to the characters. It gives a reason why the characters are fighting it, or it gives a personality. It makes you wonder, makes you like this character or that character. Or why is he dressed like this? Or why does he have this moveset? And Mortal Kombat has also an amazing lore behind it. And that story really helped flesh out. And that brings me to Mortal Kombat 10. The story in this is good. It's entertaining, but sadly, it feels very short. Well, it feels shorter than the one in MK9. MK9 had around, I believe it had between 16 to 20 chapters, I think. Lasted for around 7 hours. This one only lasted 3 or 4 hours, with only like 12 chapters. And I feel like I'm kind of disappointed, but at the same time the story was entertaining. And it has added It added a lot of new characters. What the hell's going on with me? It added a lot of new characters who are very entertaining. Most of all, Cassie Cage. She's a badass. She's the daughter of Johnny Cage and Sonya Blade, so how's she not going to be awesome? And the story is entertaining, a bit shorter than I wanted to be, but that's all I have to say about that. It's still an awesome, entertaining experience with the story. The graphics, mwah, the graphics are superb. You couldn't ask for better graphics at this point in Mortal Kombat. Best by far, obviously, because it's on the next gen hardware and all that. But it's just seamless. The fighting, the gameplay, and the graphics just meld together so beautifully. It's so smooth, and it's just the backgrounds and the characters are just beautiful to look at. Aside from a couple like Sonya Blade and Johnny Cage, I feel don't have the same detailed definition as the other characters. But the characters like Sub-Zero and Scorpion look amazing. The sound, as always, it's awesome. In a kind of disturbing way. Like, the voice acting is good, for the most part. But where it gets really disturbing Mortal Kombat, and it fits this so well, is the sound of like bones crossing when you're doing your X-ray moves or your fatalities. And it's disturbing, but it fits the game so well. And so the fatalities are even worse than ever now. I mean, I had a feeling they weren't going to be as impactful or as gruesome as MK9, but boy was I wrong, they're worse than ever. Holy crap. And Cassie Cage's selfie fatality is one of the funniest fatalities you'll ever see. And it's like a nod to the newer generation's frame of mind, and it's just funny to see. And last of all, the last thing I want to talk about, well, before I talk about it, is the online. Online is great from what I've known. I've had a couple of laggy matches, but overall I think the experience is good. I have heard of people that are experiencing problems with the online, but for me, I've had a pretty good experience so far. And so I can't really complain too much about that. And the last thing I want to talk about is the crypt. What can I say about the crypt? I'm so happy it brought back, because it gives you something to work towards. You want to unlock everything, and the thing is, they made it kind of like a mini game over it. You're exploring. It's like those old PC dungeon crawlers or first person explorer. See, I'm not much PC player, so I don't know what the proper word is, but basically you're in first person view and you're walking through these caves and these areas, and you find these Mortal Kombat characters' weapons, and you use them to unlock newer areas of the cave where you can unlock new items and all that. And it's just very cool that they added that feature to the crypt. They could just add the menu where you just click to unlock, but they added this whole new area and mini game into it, and that's really appreciate. I appreciate how much detail and extra time they put into that just to flesh it out. And of course, I almost forgot. Living towers. In Mortal Kombat 9, you had a tower where you had to go up floor, where you take on these unique challenges and such. But in this one, they have separate, like a couple, like 5 to 6 different towers. There's the offline towers where there's the classic tower, you go up through the chain of like 8 to 10 opponents, and you get each character's ending. Then there's new towers as well. There's like Test Your Luck Tower, which is always fun, where you do random game modes in it. Like you could lose a leg, there could be bombs dropping from the ground on top of you. It's just crazy, and there's so many other towers. And then there's the living towers online that change every day, week, every 3 days. There's so much content in this game, it's crazy, and it looks like they're really going to support it. Like they want to keep adding new content, new like towers. It's a really great game. Mortal Kombat 10. There's a couple of areas where I feel it stumbles in and is not quite as good as MK9. But overall, if I had to pick, I think Mortal Kombat 10 is the better game, despite MK9 having a longer story. And the story is like the main thing it has over it. Other than that, I think MK10 is the better game. So, and I haven't even touched on all the stuff that's in this game. There is a lot more, but if I talk about everything else, this video would be much longer, and I'm trying to keep it as low as possible. So as always, I recommend if you're a fan of fighting games, check this game out. And if there's one fighting game you have to get this year, I say get this one. Mortal Kombat 10 does not disappoint. It has some shady DLC practices, as I think we're all aware by now, but other than that, it's a damn good time. And as always, so I guess thank you for your time. It gets my recommendation. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.